A man accused her of using witchcraft to make his penis disappear after a physical interaction. A mob formed. She did not survive it. On March 20th, 26, Eneless Hellen Kamutumbe, a 46-year-old mother, was beaten to death at a market in Kalumbila District, Kisasa, Zambia. End Witch Hunts nonprofit condemns this killing. A man accused her of using witchcraft to make his penis disappear after a physical interaction. A mob formed. She did not survive it. Hundreds of people have been arrested, including the accuser.
This accusation did not begin in Zambia. In 1486, Heinrich Kramer published the Malleus Maleficarum, a manual for identifying and prosecuting witches that would shape legal systems across the Western world for centuries. In it, Kramer wrote that witches could make a man's genitals vanish through touch. He called it a glamour, an illusion cast upon the senses. The body was untouched, the harm was not real, and yet he codified it as prosecutable fact.
The manual gave legal weight to the idea that a woman's body was a weapon, that her touch could destroy a man, and that the man's claim alone was enough to condemn her, even when the harm was, by Kramer's own definition, imaginary.
Courts across Europe used it, and then colonial New England did too. In 1648, Margaret Jones of Charlestown, Massachusetts, became the first person executed for witchcraft in the Massachusetts Bay Colony. The accusation against her centered on her touch. Those she laid hands on, the court was told, suffered for it, and she was hanged.
In 1662, a little girl named Elizabeth Kelly in Hartford, Connecticut, died days after a neighbor, Goodwife Ayers, visited her home and shared a bowl of broth with her. Her parents testified that Elizabeth cried out, "Goodwife Ayers is upon me. She chokes me. She kneels on my belly. She will break my bowels. She pinches me." It was Ayers' specter or a ghost of her, not her physical body, but the courts accepted it as the weapon. The harm was invisible. The accusation was enough.
By 1692, the doctrine was so deeply embedded that Salem courts accepted touch as direct evidence of guilt. The so-called touch test held that an afflicted person would be relieved of their torment when touched by the witch tormenting them, because the spell would go back into the witch who had cast it. Rebecca Nurse, Mary Esty, and scores of others across Essex County faced accusers whose bodies were treated as instruments of proof. To touch someone and have them react was, in a Puritan courtroom, as good as a confession.
These were not superstitions held by ignorant people on the margins of society. They were legal mechanisms applied by educated magistrates in functioning courts, with witnesses and records and sentences carried out by the state.
That is what the Malleus Maleficarum built, a framework in which a woman can be killed for what a man claims her touch did to his body, and the legal and social machinery around her will not protect her. It will prosecute her.
That framework did not disappear. It traveled through time, it adapted, and on March 20th, 2026, it arrived at a market where Helen was working in Zambia.
End Witch Hunts condemns the killing of Eneless Hellen Kamutumbe and calls for full accountability for those responsible. Witchcraft accusations are not ancient history. They are a present and deadly reality.
Wherever you are, you can help. Share her story. Say her name. Support organizations working to end witchcraft accusation violence worldwide.